You're watching Keeping It Livable, and today we're talking with some local parents about the power of parenting. Please stay tuned for this informative discussion.
Do you know that only 58% of Maryland school children enter school ready to learn and succeed? In Prince George's County, the numbers are even lower. More than 90% of a child's brain development takes place before the age of 5. Parents, we are the first and most important teacher. Read to your child every day. Education is an essential part of any livable community. Are you doing your part to educate your child?
This is Keeping It Livable, the program that highlights the people, places, and events in gorgeous Prince George's County. And now your host, Dr. Jacqueline Brown.
As many of you may know, we spend a lot of time on our show addressing the educational needs of our community. From supporting the school system's initiatives to helping our youth with peer pressure issues, we continuously strive to provide a quality community for the youth in Prince George's County. Today we want to discuss the power of parenting and specifically focus on parent-child relationships. With all of the challenges facing families today, it's not difficult to understand how parent-child relationships can weaken. And in some instances, parents lose complete control of their children. While most of us agree that parenting is a tough job, when do we stop making excuses and start taking steps to regain control? To help us answer these questions, we're going to talk to 3 parents who will share their parenting experiences with us. Joining me are Ms. Evelyn Blackwell, who is a single mother of a 17-year-old daughter, very successful one, I have to tell you. Evelyn owns a small business in Prince George's County and known to many of her hair care clients as Pinky. Mrs. Hope Smedley is the mother of 3 young boys. Hope is an educator in the Prince George's County Public School System, and she is currently working on a doctorate. And you might see her a lot on some of our PSAs. And joining Hope as the other proud parent of those 3 boys is her husband, Mr. Corey Smedley. Corey is a captain with the Prince George's County Fire EMS Department. Corey grew up without a father in his life, and he understands the importance of being an involved parent. Everybody, welcome.
Thank you.
To Keeping It Livable. Really glad to have you here today. Pinky, I want to start with you, please. Okay. And I want you, if you could you discuss how you handled some of the major challenges that you faced as a single parent, as parenting with Deja?
Well, first off, with prayer. Secondly,
with prayer, that's an important piece, yes.
Secondly, a lot of communicating, open communication with my daughter, and just realizing that parenting with a husband is not easy, but parenting without one is even harder.
Right.
So realizing that no matter what, sometimes as a parent, it's not a book, you make mistakes, but when I make a mistake, as a parent, when I make a mistake, realize that I made a mistake, talk it over with Deja, let's get it right. So it's just like I said, most of it is just communicating, open communication with her. So.
Well, you know, I happen to know you, and one of the things that I want to bring out in what you're saying, and I think it's going to be that, I know it's the same for the Smedleys. You know, folks, you have to have your children as a priority. You have to care. They're not a side issue. Now, Evelyn has a business to run. She's got to support her child. But everything you say is about Deja first. I mean, you know, and that's the priority, not the new shoes, you know, not the trip, not the 3-car garage. It's my child. And you know that that's your job. And so that communication is helped.
Right.
By that being there. And I know it seems like I shouldn't have to say it, but I'm not so sure everybody puts the children first all the time. And there's no other way around it. So, Hope and Corey, I mean, I know what wonderful parents you are. How do both of you handle the major challenges that you face as parents with 3 boys in 2007? What are the ages of the boys, first of all?
12, 10, and 4.
Whoa, okay. And Deja's 17. Right, okay. Mm-hmm.
I know for me as a mother, the first thing I had to recognize is that even though they're all boys, they have very distinct personalities. Mm-hmm. Very, very distinct personalities. So understanding that I cannot address each of them the same way, even with the same problem, was the first hurdle that I think both of us had to overcome at some point. And then understanding that even though they're our children, they are still apart from us. They have a makeup that is different from us. And it's tougher for me as the only female in the house. So sometimes I may have to go to Corey and say, look, did I do this right? Because I know for a boy, it's different.
Now, Corey, what's your take on some of the challenges as a parent with 3 boys and both of you full-time careers, and I know for a fact both of you in school?
It is a challenge. You have to maintain a balance. And like you said, Dr. Brown, you have to keep them first and foremost. And you have to have a stable foundation. For me, it is like I'm a part of the growing with them, not having a ideal family makeup. As a child, it brings me back to some of the issues that I went through and some of the challenges I faced in understanding that and being able to carry that over to grow with them, because I'm still learning at this as well. But going back to the foundation aspect of it, you have to have a totality of the balancing. We mentioned prayer, recreation, education. You have to have an environment that's conducive for the ability to grow. So those challenges that come, that conducive learning environment, that conducive safe haven of your home is just that. It's an environment that will let you have the abilities to grow. And a lot of people don't have that.
Right. But you all have things that you do with your children, just basic things that you do with them. And we actually have the gamut here from, how old is your youngest? 4 to 17. And you didn't start your communication with Deja last year. No, that's from little, and you all have your communications with them. So what are some of like the family things that you all do? What do you do with your children that allows them to feel that I have a foundation behind me that is so wonderful that I don't want to violate it? What are some of the things?
Like I said, church first, going to church. Me being single, having my own business, my daughter has been at work with me a lot as well.
Yeah.
She's at work with me, so she knows the importance of working.
Right.
While she's at work with me, when she used to come home from school, we had a space for her homework where she does her homework, so still I'm able to work with her on her work and doing things like that. Basically, we do a lot of almost everything together.
Okay.
So.
All right. And it didn't, some people will say, well, is that more being her friend than her parent?
No.
Okay, how do you make that distinction?
How do I make that distinguish? It is, actually, we are friends. We are friends, but she knows the difference between her mother. I'm her mother. And more than that, it's respect. I respect her.
That's the word.
She respects me.
That's the word.
So.
Okay. 3 boys. How do you get the respect in your household?
I go back to that word balance, because that is the basis. But it's a combination of both extremes, tender care and tough love. There's a opportunity depending on the scenario, for one or the other or a little bit of all. And you just have to understand that they're people, they're growing, things are new to them, just like parenting is fairly new to us, and we have to talk it out and communicate. Going back to your other question, we have a family night. We play Scrabble together.
Wonderful.
And
okay.
Even the 4-year-old.
Even the 4-year-old. That's the part that is so great. Because you know what you're doing? You're making memories. But I'm going to let you go on. Go ahead.
I won, but
yeah.
No.
Okay. There we go. Okay.
but that gets them to engage. We engage one another.
Right.
And you start learning each other and knowing what, like Hope said, you have 3 different people that came from the same place.
Right.
But you're just different, and you start to learn them, and they learn you. As a young boy, I didn't have the opportunity to get up under the car with my father and learn about different tools and building and things like that. That's how you build a relationship. And like you said, you said that you have to befriend them to an extent. But there's a limit, there's a cutoff. Right. And they know when you get to that cutoff.
They do know it. You know, what is so impressive about what these exemplary parents are saying is that they spend time with their children socially.
Yes.
Not just in the house, but they do things with them socially, and they involve, not only are they involved in their children's lives, they involve their children in their lives. And I hope some of you can see the difference in that. A lot of parents are involved in their children's lives, but they don't involve their children in their lives. Days You're Coming will always remember coming to Mama's shop.
Right.
And being involved in her life. I'm sure. How many times have they been to the firehouse?
They've been there quite often. They even, I've been in the county executive's office a little over a year, and the first time I was privy to Mr. Johnson's office is when my son came up there.
There you go.
So he's definitely going to remember that experience.
That's right. And to school?
Actually, my middle son went to the same school where I teach last year for a while. The baby thinks that I'm the student in the school. He hasn't made the connection that I'm the teacher.
Okay.
He thinks that I'm one of the students. Okay. So it's interesting.
That's the part that is so amazing. When we get back, we're going to talk a little bit about those other voices, though. Internet, television, media, movies, all that kind of stuff that thinks that they can take the hearts and minds of your children from you. We're out of time for this segment of Keeping It Livable, but you need to stay tuned with us as we continue our conversation about the power of parenting. We'll be right back.
As a mother and an educator, I have a demanding schedule at home and work. All of my children need to know they are my priority, and I believe in them and their ability to achieve academic success. Education extends beyond the classroom. As a parent, I am my child's first and most important teacher. As a teacher, I need your support as a parent.
Education is an essential part of any livable community.
Are you doing your part to help educate your child?
Did you know that when men are actively involved in their children's lives, they do better in school and in their social and emotional development? All children need their father's encouragement and guidance. I am my daughter's first and most important teacher. My children are my priority.
Education is the foundation that helps you change your dreams into reality. Education is an essential part of any livable community.
What are you doing to help educate your children?
We're back and talking to a few parents about the power of parenting and how one maintains their parental authority. Corey, we just had a a quote from you up on the screen, a very powerful one, which opens up the issue of where one learns their parenting skills. And so let me throw that open to you all. How did you learn? I know you all have intimated that I had to learn this child and what works for this child and what doesn't, but where did you get your overall foundation about what are good parenting skills? And anybody can jump in.
Well, although I did not have the ideal family makeup as a child, my mother was a strong parent, strong woman, and she did instill in me some values that carried over. I'm proud to say, because people are so often to talk about the negative, my father, although at that time he wasn't the parent that I needed, he is a definitely changed man today. He is actively engaged with our boys. He has found the Lord. He is a council member where he lives. It's not a birth date, holiday that he doesn't remember. But with that said, during the time when I needed him, it was best that he wasn't there.
Okay. All right.
Because that atmosphere could have led me to a different place.
A different place and different types of parenting skills.
Correct.
Very interesting. Okay. What about you, Hope?
Parenting skills, you learn as you go, and our makeup stems from what we experience. And just like Corey has just said, growing up the way that I did, my household was separated, being multiracial. I was battling with that and didn't feel as though I fit in. So one of the things I wanted to make sure I did as a parent was validate my children at home, so they did not seek it out in the public realm or, when they're in school or what have you.
Isn't that something how we were parented or not starts to shape the skills we have? What about you?
With myself, one of the things I think with Deja, what I do with her, is ask me my question again.
Okay, no, the question is, where did you get your parenting skills with her?
My parenting skills with Deja came mostly from my mother and my grandmother.
Okay.
My father was available, but most of my parenting skills came from my mother. Looking back, thinking some of the things that not so much as we did wrong, but I can see now if we had done differently, some things that may have been different with myself, I try to pass on to Deja. So it's not like being a parent is sometimes almost trial and error. Some things some things that you see later on, you realize if we had done this differently, if my mother had taught me a little different, some things differently, then maybe I may be, some of the things I've been through, I would not have had to go through that. So, I just try to pass that on to Deja.
So, there's so much is shaped from what our background has been, and we make decisions on it. It's not a cause and effect, it's a choice, actually, that we make on that kind of background. But, they got other voices, and I talked about that before the break. What do y'all do about internet, media, music, and all this? How do you control that in the 21st century? That was something I didn't have to deal with when I was raising my kids.
We are bombarded with society lowering the standards, so to speak, and it's everywhere. It's more than we are able to give them as far as competition-wise. But although this is a different time, it's different parenting, values are values, and they will stand the test of time. So you need to have those values to start with. Once you have those values to start with, you're able to, like you said, sometimes you give them the journey that you went through so they don't have to take that long road, and sometimes experience is the best teacher. So you have to have a gauge between when you tell them to walk through the door, or let them walk at the wall.
Interesting. Okay.
And I think, just to piggyback off what Evelyn has said, communicating. It's important, and letting them know that they can communicate with you. This happened at my school today. Even if it has nothing to do with your child directly, just them feeling comfortable to share something that happened at school that may have been dangerous, bizarre, or even funny. Having those lines open
Okay, the line's open. So you have to be available
Absolutely.
to your children
Absolutely.
to listen and to hear them and to give feedback. You're not passive now.
No.
Right.
You're not just sitting there saying, oh, okay, that's fine. You have something to say about that.
Absolutely.
Okay, because you're teaching.
Yes.
You're teaching.
Yeah, and realizing when they do come to you and talk to you, they want feedback.
Mm-hmm.
They
That's
want
so
to hear what you have to
important.
say.
They want it. They want the feedback. But with all this stuff that's going on, all of you working, all of you career, all of you with so many challenges and everything, how come you don't get tired and just give it up? Because a lot of parents will tell you, it's too much.
I don't think about it.
Can't.
Okay, well, why can't you? Why don't you
I
tell
just
folks
do
why
it.
they can't give it up?
If you constantly dwell on what you have to do versus just doing it, you're spending the energy worrying about it. Get it done. If you do it, it's accomplished, and then you can move on. The time you spend sitting there, oh, I have to go to the grocery store. Oh, I have to do this for work, and then the car has to go to the shop. I've already wasted 3 minutes trying to figure out why I have to do all of these things when I can just do them. Because at the end of the day, they still have to be done.
Okay.
And two points that I would like to make. One, if you're not doing what you're supposed to do as far as your responsibilities and wonder why things aren't going the way you want, that is it. Two is, I'm only going to raise my kids one time. I'm not going to raise their kids.
Right.
And you find a lot of parents re-raising
Wow.
because they didn't do it in the first place.
Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. What keeps you from getting tired, Pinky?
You can't get tired. You don't have time to get tired. It's almost like breathing. It's my child. I want for my child. It's mine, and I have to do what I have to do for her success.
You know, there's
as
so
a
many-
person.
And see, that's it. I just want to make the point because there's some people who actually end up resenting their children. They resent their children because their children are getting in the way of what they want to do for themselves. And we get that a lot with very young parents, okay? And not understanding that after the child is that cute baby and grows out of it, that's when they really need you. The older that they get. I don't know what to say to somebody who resents their child. I mean, I don't, who feels that their child is competing for the attention that they didn't get themselves. You didn't get the attention that you needed from your father. You're not jealous of your children for having you as a father. I mean, I'm not understanding that. Have you met people like that who it's about me and the child is just after they're no longer the cute baby, the child is just, you're getting in my way. I need to go out to the club.
I have a few coworkers who we talk about this all the time. And one of the things as educators, that's something we're faced with a lot. One of the things I try to teach as an educator from that point of view to my students is that every situation happens for a reason, and just like Corey said, his life played out the way it did on purpose. So when I tell my students, use your situation as a stepping stone, not an excuse.
There you go.
And when I deal with a parent who I feel is working against me versus with me, the conversation is, okay, so what can we do together? Right. And if maybe they feel from the community, the school, that, you know, we can do this together, even if it's a coworker or a parent or someone I just met at the hair salon or wherever, how can we work this out together? What can we do together? Showing them how it can work.
Okay.
And then understanding that, for me especially, my children are the reason I am who I am.
There you go.
And there are a lot of decisions I've made that have made me a better person.
So the children don't take away from you.
They contribute.
They contribute.
Absolutely.
And they add to you.
Absolutely.
When do you draw the line? How do you discipline and tell them, hey, you're not going to do that. You're not going to that dance. You're not going to the party. You're not. This person's not allowed. I mean, do you call those shots?
You have to. You have to.
Okay.
Sometimes for me, discipline is one of the harder parts of being a parent. everybody wants to see their child happy. If everything you wanted to do, I could just let you do it, but I know the outcome, what the outcome will be if I just let you do what you want to do. So with me being a single parent, disciplining is extremely hard sometimes, because when it's two parents, I can discipline, one can give a little more of the love, but as a single parent, you have to take the balance of both.
Right.
And that I find is kind of hard sometimes. That's when we have to really be open, whereas, look, I'm not going to allow you to do that, and this is why.
Right. Right.
And after that, it may be the next day, we can discuss it more, and, you know, she'll understand it later. So.
Right. But see, that way, what you are is a team of one. You all have to be a team, because sometimes it can backfire
exactly,
on you.
And that has happened. And one of the things we try to do, if it comes to a point where I've made a decision, and then Corey comes behind me and says, well, why are you in your room without the television? Go ahead and turn it on without having talked to me, because he didn't know. Maybe he wasn't there. We'll go back, revisit the situation. You know, I didn't know. You didn't tell me that your mother said you couldn't watch television. And there are times when we disagree on how to handle the discipline. So we try to think for each other.
Right.
Or
We're
think
checks
together.
and balance. And what we consciously try to do is not have those discussions in front of them.
There you go.
Yes.
Did you hear that? When there is that disagreement, the children are not to necessarily hear it, because then they run right in the middle of it, and it's to their detriment every time.
Yes.
And they know how to play on the parents.
That's true.
They're smarter than you think.
Oh, yes, they are. Yes, they are. I mean, you all are fabulous. Fabulous. And I hope many people play this show over and over again, so they can get those hints and those tips that you gave. From time to time, I take advantage of being the host and close the show with a personal commentary that we call Keeping It Real. Today is one of those moments. Being a parent truly is a tough job. While there are many rewards, raising children today can leave parents feeling overwhelmed, inadequate, and powerless. At times, you may even feel that no one recognizes your efforts. We are in a parenting crisis in many of our communities. Some parents have lost control of their children and have given up trying to regain that control. Their out-of-control children are creating havoc for the rest of the community. Parents, I know that you are under stress from multitasking, your jobs and your families. I know that you love your children, and I know that there are moments when you feel frustrated and like giving up. But you can't. Parents who fail to teach their children proper values and respect are failing their children and our communities. Good parenting begins with love, effort, and communication. You have to talk with your children, and you have to listen to them. Make them your priority. They come first, and they come before your social life. Their welfare must be your first priority. Be the example that you want your children to follow. Set reasonable limits and be consistent in the way you raise them. First and foremost, show your children that you love them by spending time with them and getting involved with things that they like to do, and getting them involved with things you like to do. Lavishing money and material things on children is no substitute for spending time with them. Don't cause them to confuse love with materialism. There is nothing more satisfying than seeing your child mature into a productive adult of whom you can truly be proud. Let them know you have faith in their abilities to succeed and that you'll be with them every step of the way. We owe them our consistent best so that they can be their best in this thing called life. Unfortunately, we're out of time for this edition of Keeping It Livable. I want to thank my special guests, Ms. Evelyn Pinky Blackwell, Mrs. Hope Smedley, and Mr. Corey Smedley. Listen to what they have to say. Please continue to tune in and watch for more shows with parents who will share their positive parenting experiences with us. If you have questions or topics that you would like us to discuss on future shows, or if you have a unique story about parenting that you want to share, please contact Dr. Walter Dozier in the Office of the County Executive at 301-952-5867. I'm Dr. Jacqueline Brown, and I'll see you on the next edition of Keeping It Livable.